As summer rolls in, and summer is one of the busy times for travel, the news from leisure and travel, or shall we say travelandleisure.com, relates to air travel. And it states that United Airlines, will place people who refuse to wear a mask on a no-fly list. Can you imagine? So if you can't wear a mask, if you feel uncomfortable wearing a mask, if you can't breathe through a mask, you might not be able to fly. And if you attempt to fly and remove your mask during the flight, then you might be put on a no-fly list. So the article says Alaska Airlines, American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Hawaiian Airlines, JetBlue Airlines, and Southwest Airlines are also reinforcing their mask procedures. So United Airlines will temporarily ban passengers from flying if they refuse to wear a mask on board as part of a new policy to reinforce the corona spiked rule. Now, this move comes as several other U.S. carriers have pledged to crack down on mask wearing in the air, according to Airlines for America, or A4A, an organization that represents major airlines. And, even before I go through the rest of this article, there is something that popped into my mind that I really, really want us to know. Now, we have never done a full video on private airlines and charter airlines, charter flights, but an update that came to me just today states that as commercial air travel is on the decline, persons traveling in private planes, it's on the increase, particularly business travelers, and that the price to charter that plane has been slashed by 50% in many cases. You're getting 6-star service depending on the type of flight, depending on the type of plane. The luxuries no end. So stay with us. We're going to do a full presentation on that, but that just came to mind and I just had to insert that here, because one of the big things is persons who could afford to fly, to charter a private jet or to own one, they're still able to afford or charter a private jet, particularly if you're traveling with 10 or 12 or 8 or 6 of your closest friends. Doing a $1,000 pop or a $1,200 pop one-way ticket is certainly quite affordable now, considering that the prices have fallen and you're skipping all of the security checks and all of the wait times at the airport. You literally get in, get taken right onto the tarmac, board your plane, you're airborne. So we're going to talk about this a little more, but really just wanted to go into this that came through United. And as we continue, United says they have been pleased that the overwhelming majority of passengers readily comply with our policy, and that the new guidance is an unmistakable signal that we are prepared to take serious steps, if necessary, to protect our customers and crew. According to United, anyone who is not wearing a mask on board and who does not qualify for an exemption, like a medical condition that prevents them from wearing a facial covering, will be first asked to put one on. Flight attendants will also have masks on hand to provide if needed. If a passenger continually refuses, they will be reported and undergo a formal review process to determine if they need to be banned. Anyone who is banned would not be able to fly for a duration of time to be determined, according to the airline. In addition to masks, United is requiring all passengers to verify their health status during check-in, confirming that they don't have any symptoms of COVID-19 and haven't had close contact with anyone who does. And of course, it speaks of the other airlines. In the lineup we had initially, Delta was not mentioned, so Delta is a part of this new lineup. Hawaii Airline is also a part, and they have pledged to impose consequences for not complying with their mask policies on board. Each airline will determine the exact repercussions. Oh boy, oh boy. This last bit that I will read as it relates to this comes from the A4A president and CEO, Nicholas E. Kallio. He says, face coverings are one of the most public health measures. So facial coverings are one of several public health measures recommended by the CDC as an important layer of protection for passengers and customer-facing employees. So it continues to unravel. To mask or not to mask? That is the question. A bit of a funny caption that caught my attention is one that says pilots are encouraging the traveler in public to buy airline tickets. Buy them now, use them later. And so the caption basically says, buy airline tickets and hoard them the way you would hoard toilet paper. Now, if that didn't catch anybody's attention, then you're just not living on this planet. And of course, this started by one Captain Charlotte, and it has been picked up by a Virgin Atlantic pilot from Toulouse, France. And basically, the thought behind it is that is the only way airlines will fill and people start traveling again, and pilots, who now seem to be a dime to the dozen, will have work again. So the statement from one of these pilots is, we need the world to start booking tickets, which will allow airlines to fill aircraft and get us all flying again. The only thing holding us back is you, our loyal customers, passengers. Without you, we're grounded. Let's get the world flying again. And they have been bringing their posts to social media and even standing in their uniforms, holding up huge signs for the passerbys to book tickets. It sounds rather odd, kind of paradoxical, but hey, in 2020, anything can happen. We are no longer even surprised. But this pilot from Toulouse says, many of my colleagues have lost their jobs, and others, including myself, have uncertain future. His name is Pohl, Pohl. And this is what he shared with the Travel and Leisure Business Insider. Now, he explained that at least him holding that sign brought him a bit of joy in the midst of this madness. So that's kind of funny. A little funny. Didn't expect I would see this. It's funny though. If you should see the picture, he's all docked out in his pilot jacket and cap. And then he says, well, I was only wearing half of my uniform. The other half I had on shorts and flip-flops. I mean, this is so much funny. So funny. And then, of course, as that perfect shot was taken, his son was able to throw toilet paper at him just for that imagery to stick. And it was really quite an insightful photograph.